What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the content in this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of this video for a quick message from our team. Let's get into the video. All right, Trey, let's get into our MLB picks and props for Tuesday, June 13th slate of games. Take a look at that leaderboard, Trey. Start us off.
Yes, I am 0 for 0 so far because we are recording before the game starts at 6:30 Central Time right now. We were wanting to get it in before the NBA Finals starts, but I give out the Diamondbacks money line versus the Philadelphia Phillies. I love Tommy Henry, and I love our chances for it to cash. Diamondbacks have been scoring a ton of runs all season long, and it should not change in this game.
Yeah, I have the Kansas City Royals against the Cincinnati Reds over 9 runs. I actually played this at over 8.5 at minus 114 this afternoon. That's what it closed at, 8.5. So hopefully that does catch for us. But Trey, let's take a look at our picks for today. Start us off.
Yes, I'm going to be attacking this Milwaukee Brewers at Minnesota Twins game. I may be jumping into the deep end with this pick, but I'm actually going to be taking the under 7.5 total runs for this game. We're going to be treated to a pretty nice pitcher's duel in this game for a couple of reasons. The first reason is the actual pitchers that are on the mound with Corbin Burnes and Pablo Lopez. And the second reason is both of these offenses just are terrible at scoring runs. And the Brewers, like I said, they're throwing out Corbin Burnes in this game. And he's pitched in 13 games so far, turned that to a 5-4 record with a 3.36 ERA. And he has been slightly worse on the road, though, in his 6 road starts. He has a 2-3 record with a 3.47 ERA. And the Twins, they're throwing out one of my favorite strikeout pitchers in Pablo Lopez. And Lopez, he's pitched in 13 games this season, turned that to a 3-3 record with a 4.25 ERA. But like I said, Lopez is one of the best strikeout pitchers in the major leagues. And in fact, he's ranked as the 8th highest strikeout pitcher with 92 so far for the season. And like I also said, both these offenses just cannot score runs. Milwaukee, they're the 25th scoring offense in baseball. They only average 4.05 runs per game. And the Twins are without one of their best hitters in Joey Gallo. And he's on the 10-day injured list, and he's leading them in home runs with 11 for the season. And Buxton and Correa, they've just been brutal for the season. Buxton, he has a 220 batting average, and Correa, he has a 217 batting average. So for that reason, I'm just going to be hammering the under 7.5 total runs for this game. I expect both these pitchers to pitch deep, at least 7 innings deep in this game. So let's go undies.
Yeah, Trey, I like that play. For my play tonight, I'm going to be looking at the Washington Nationals going up against the Houston Astros. The Washington Nationals are plus 215 on the money line, and I would love to have the Stones to take the Nats on the money line, but I'm going to take them plus 1.5 here at plus 115. They still are plus money at plus 1.5. So the problem for the Washington Nationals have not been their hitting over the last multiple games. They are 1-4 of their last 5 games, but they have scored 19 runs, which is pretty average for the MLB team. The problem is with their pitching staff, giving up 27 runs over the last 5 games. The Nationals will have their so-called ace on the mound with Patrick Corbin, who is getting paid like an ace, but hasn't quite lived up to the big contract that he signed. I do like Patrick Corbin because more times than not, he is not going to give up too many runs in his starts where the Nationals can't make a comeback. Over his last 10 games, he's allowed 3 or less runs in 9 of those 10 games. So he is a decent starting pitcher for the Nationals. He just doesn't have a lot of games where he has shutouts. Not a lot of games where he allows 1 run or no runs. The one thing that Patrick does poorly is give up multiple hits. He's the best pitcher this season, Trey, at giving up hits, which is not a title he wants, but he's allowed 93 hits this year, 73 2/3 innings pitched, 93 hits. Not a good stat there. Despite giving up most of the hits this season, he has kept opposing teams to run production somewhat down, allowing only 40 runs in his 13 starts. He will be going up against Hunter Brown for the Houston Astros, who over his last 2 starts has given up 8 earned runs and 10 2/3 innings pitched. There's no doubt that Hunter Brown is the better pitcher in this game, but because Patrick Corbin can keep the game under control, not allowing too many runs, I think the Nationals can keep in this game. The Washington Nationals are still a top 5 batting team this season and are slowly but surely climbing up the standings in runs scored per game. This game could be interesting to watch. I think the Nationals might win it outright. So I'm going to take them here plus 1.5 because I don't have the Stones to do it on the money line, but plus 1.5 for the Washington Nationals tomorrow night will be my play. All right, Trey, let's take a look at our player props from yesterday. Start us off.
Yeah, and with Yordan Alvarez being out for that game, it makes me love it even more. But my player prop, I'm 0 for 0 right now. I give out Ella De La Cruz over 8.5 fantasy score versus the Royals, and James Paxton over 7.5 strikeouts versus the Rockies. Paxton, he has pitched through 1 inning and has 0 strikeouts so far, and so I do expect him to turn it up here over the next couple innings. And De La Cruz, his game has not started yet, but I fully expect him to go off in this game.
Yes, I hope he does go off because my 2 props for tonight are Zach Greinke and Luke Weaver over 2.5 earned runs, the starting pitcher in the Reds versus Royals game. they're going to allow 3 runs in the first inning each. That is what I believe. That is what I want to happen. But Trey, let's take a look at our player props for tonight. Start us off.
Yeah, so I'm going to be picking another Reds batter, this time with Jonathan India over 7.5 fantasy score versus the Royals. And the Reds, they're playing with a ton of confidence offensively over the last week or so, ever since Ella De La Cruz got called up to the majors. In India, he's been one of the biggest beneficiaries of De La Cruz being called up because India, he's put right in front of De La Cruz in the batting order, and that's boosted his run production by quite a bit. And we're recording before the Reds vs. Royal game ended yesterday, but over his last 2 games, India has been red hot. And over those 2 games, he has 2 walks, a double, 1 home run, an RBI, and 4 total runs scored over those 2 games. And I expect similar production in this game because who Kansas City is throwing on the mound. They're throwing out Jordan Lyles in this game, and he has been absolutely brutal. Per game, he allows 4.7 runs, 5.4 hits, and 2 walks per game. He's allowing a lot of base runners, and that's turning into a lot of runs. And we have to expect India to partake in that butt kicking before they pull Jordan Lyles out of this game. So give me Jonathan India to go over 7.5 fantasy score versus the Royals.
Yeah, Trey, I love that play. For my batting prop tonight, I'm going to go with Bryan Reynolds over 1.5 bases going up against the Chicago Cubs. Bryan Reynolds is getting a great matchup against Jameson Taillon, who has a 7.02 ERA this season, has allowed 3+ earned runs in 8 of his last 10 starts so far this year. He has also given up 6+ hits in 6 of his last 10 starts as well this year. So the Pittsburgh Pirates outfielder is now batting .280 on the season, and it's also on a 5-game hitting streak heading into this game. He has been seeing the ball very well right now, drawing 7 walks over his last 4 games as well. But with Jameson on the mound for the Cubs, I'm hoping he turns those walks into base hits for us. Bryan Reynolds has also had a very good career against the Chicago Cubs, batting .268 with 56 hits in 58 games. Give me Bryan Reynolds over 1.5 bases as my first play of the night, Trey.
Yes, and I'm going back to the well. I'm going with Pablo Lopez over 6.5 strikeouts versus the Brewers. It's been a while since I've given out a Lopez over strikeout prop, but I am back better than ever. And if this comes out at 7, I still love this over. Lopez has started 13 games this season, and he's hit the over 6.5 strikeouts in 8 of those games, but he has hit the under in 3 straight games. So I think that's why we're getting this great discount number. And Lopez, he started off the season on a scorching hot start, and I was taking all of his overs there. Through his first 3 games, he was averaging 8.7 strikeouts per game, but he has cooled off here recently over his last 9 starts. And over those 9 starts, he's averaging 7.3 strikeouts per game, still over this number, a full strikeout and a half less than what he was doing at the beginning of the season, though. But I do think that we're going to get some vintage Pablo Lopez in this game, and that is because of his matchup. The Brewers, they simply love to strike out. They've been at the bottom of the rankings when it comes to striking out all season long. In fact, they strike out the 4th most times in the major leagues with an average of 9.35 times per game. And with Lopez going deep in every single start, we have to assume that he's going to get 7 of those before his exit. So give me Pablo Lopez to go over 6.5 strikeouts versus the Brewers.
Yeah, Trey, I like it. For my pitching prop tonight, he's back, baby. The one and only Jordan Lyles for the Kansas City Royals. We are going to take his over 2.5 earned runs allowed in this game. The Kansas City Royals ace this season, Jordan Lyles, still has a perfect record, going 0-10 so far this season, as he's yet to win a game for the Royals. He is coming off a shit sandwich over his last 3 games, where he allowed 5 earned runs to the Nationals and 5 earned runs to the Marlins. And then in the middle of those 2 starts, he had a good game against the Rockies, where he only allowed 1 earned run. That is what you call a shit sandwich. 1 good start in the middle of 2 horrible starts. Jordan Lyles, over his last 10 games, has allowed 4+ earned runs in 8 of those 10 starts. He'll be going up against the Cincinnati Reds, who have been on fire as of late with their bats. The Reds have scored 4+ runs in 4 of their last 5 games. So look for Jordan Lyles to once again give up 3+ earned runs in this game against Cincinnati Reds. Over 2.5 earned runs will be my last play of the night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our MLB player props and game picks for Tuesday, June 13th slate of games. If you guys enjoy the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our locks of the week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.